Hey YouTube, what's going on? Eric here, going to do a little range report here. Finished breaking in the Kimber the other day, so I got 500 rounds through it. Cleaned and followed Kimber's specs to the T, and had a beautiful day out today. So I figured to take advantage of it before some cold weather sets in, and go shooting. So I got some full-size targets here. I don't know if the camera will let you see really how big these are, and I did it pretty scientifically. It took me a really long time to gather this information that I'm using here today. I'll start off by saying that I consider myself an extremely proficient shooter. Not quite professional, but I'm definitely the best guy at the club pretty much all the time. So let's start off here. All these were shot from 23 feet away. I marked the ammunition type used. I also let the gun cool completely after every single magazine. So I'd put 8 rounds through it, clean it, let it sit, cool for a while, and then go set up another target. So this is with the Federal Classic, 16 shots, had 1 failure to feed, and this is what we're looking at here from 23 feet away with an expert shooter. That's pretty pathetic. There we are, stepping over to the second one. These are all with me shooting dead center, aiming for that X every single shot, not compensating in any direction, to try to offset for the gun's fault here. This was using the cheapest tool ammo full metal jacket, 16 shots, all 23 feet, cleaned, let the gun cool, everything. And as you can see, this group compared to that other group really isn't that much of a difference. You can see, yeah, it's a little bit tighter. You also have a bunch of stragglers out there in the middle of nowhere. So difference cost-wise between the two ammos, it's the dirt cheap versus some expensive Federal hollow point stuff. I mean, the Russians are doing a pretty decent job, but this isn't the ammo's fault. This is clearly the gun. So we step over to this third target. You can see the grouping's a little bit tighter initially, which, that's what you would expect to see. This one's with BVA. 16 shots, 1 failure to feed, hollow point. So as you can compare this to the tool, it's definitely a lot tighter. And I would expect to see, basically everything in the 9 to the X is, I wouldn't say acceptable, but worst case scenario, you would never see, anything outside of that kind of range. I'm used to shooting with a 9 or 22 or a 40, any other 45, 44 mag, you name it. Everything pretty much touching the X at 23 feet. As we step over here, this is the best group out of them all. And this one was using the Remington Golden Saber. This stuff was a 230 grain. I had 1 failure to feed. Not sure what that was attributed to, because the bullet just shot straight up and tried to go in the chamber sideways, but I'm not really faulting the failure to feed. I can live with 1 or 2 of those every 500 rounds. Not that terrible of a deal. As long as it goes bang when it's on my person trying to save my or my family's life, that's all that matters. So the Golden Saber was okay, but still, you really should be looking at just in the X or just out of it, not even in the 9s. The camera's not really giving you good perspective, but these are full human-sized targets here. So I don't want to be aiming for someone's shoulder and, hit them in the gut or in the waistline to try to compensate. Here I was letting the gun run hot, and I was aiming all right for center of the face, right at the nose, shot right above my finger, and that was with my left hand. So this was just a test, not a conclusive scientific accuracy test. So I was all aiming right for the nose. And obviously this one for sure was my fault because I almost never shoot with my left hand. But you're not always going to be able to use your right hand in a scenario where a perpetrator is trying to attack you or your family. You may be sitting, your arm may be broken, you may be anything. It's so you've got to mix it up a little bit. So this is letting the gun run hot, hadn't cleaned it, just finishing off ammo for the day, aiming for the nose there. Everything from the shoulder down on this point, I was aiming dead center, and look at that spread. So, all right, but yeah, the Kimber, really nice fit and finish. I really do like the firearm. I just hope working with Kimber here we can get something figured out for why the gun's shooting so far to the left and down. Because even eyeballing it, if you slice the sights off this thing, it's shooting so far to the left. It's the barrel must have been milled improperly, or the mounts are sitting crooked, something like that. Because honestly, when I'm point shooting or snap shooting, anything like that, I don't even have to look anywhere at the gun. I can just point, shoot off muscle memory, and shoot tighter than this. So, I mean, for a $1,300 gun, this is extremely disappointing. But I've heard nothing but good things about Kimber's customer service, so I'm sure they're going to help me out. So, big Kimber fan here, and just a little hiccup in the road on the ownership here on the CDP2 Ultra. But I know Kimber's going to do the right thing and get me taken care of, so we'll make an update video when they do. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.